Efendim Akustikhane'e hoş geldiniz. Bugün konumuz Newton Faulkner. Newton, hey, how are you doing?
I'm very well indeed.
We're very thrilled to have you here.
Oh, very thrilled to be
Yeah,
here.
we've been listening to your music since a decade.
It's been a long time. I kind of forget how long it was in.
When you don't know, we're from Istanbul, so we don't get to see you, but we get used to your voice and your songs, and it's quite different thing to see you in person for me. Yeah. How are you doing lately?
I'm really good. I'm still trying to get used to being back. You know that kind of post like holiday season going back to work thing. I'm still a bit like, what I have to do stuff all the time.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. What do you think about Reels and TikTok? Short form videos. What do you think about them?
It's a real double-edged sword because as soon as I start thinking about it, my brain kind of goes quite wide because I'm thinking about the nature of how people are consuming music and how it's affecting that. It's such a complicated, multifaceted kind of
It's a thing I want to talk about. The way people consume music is constantly changing. So the very new way makes you create 3 songs in a week. And if you do it, algorithm will love you. So, what do you think about this? Because I love your songs, and they are great songs, and they are songs I memorized.
Yeah.
But lately, when I see a song, I never memorize it because the attention span is very low.
Yeah, it is that short form content mentality is kind of leaking into everything else at the moment. And it's a tricky one. On one hand, it's amazing to have the opportunity to reach so many people in such a spectacularly short space of time, like a 15-second thing. And suddenly you're one of the most famous acts in the entire world because you made an amazing 15-second thing. And it's really interesting seeing how far things can develop from that point. Because the point we're reaching now is festivals are struggling to find headliners big enough because we don't support people on the journey to getting to that point. We kind of let them in the door, really go crazy at them for a minute. And then after that minute, you're kind of just like, can you go now? Because we're waiting for the next, you're kind of in the way. Can you get out of the way so the next person can come in? And I think that time frame has got shorter and shorter. And with that, you don't get the opportunity to develop that many artists to that kind of huge global, like that kind of headlining Glastonbury level. The number of people that are big enough to do that is going down all the time because we're not really. I guess there's a number of reasons for it, but one is that music is seen more and more as something that should be free, something that's disposable, something that just happens. I mean, I was talking to someone the other day, and I'd never met them before, and they would say, "Oh, you're a musician." I was like, "Yeah, I do music. What kind of music are you into?" And it's like, "Yeah, kind of like chill hip hop." And I was like, "Oh, what kind of people?" He's like, I don't know any names. I just type chill hip hop into Spotify and it plays chill hip hop. And it's that thing of people don't know who they're listening to unless it really grabs them, which is an interesting challenge, a fantastic challenge from my point of view, is to make music that when it comes on random in some playlist, someone's like, hang on a minute, who is that? And that is unbelievably hard to do because there's so much noise and there's so many people making music, and there's so many people that are so good at that 15-second bit. And me coming from I write kind of relatively long, complicated songs that if I did like the first half of the first verse, you might not guess where it's going. And it doesn't, it's hard for me to fit what I do into this new kind of challenging way of doing things.
Yeah, I think when you are very famous for like a week, it will maybe still people can remember you for 3 days more. If you are having some kind of relation, any kind of relation, through some music, through some films, and with your audience for 2 years, 3 years, then they will never forget you. They can't forget you.
Yeah.
But still, people plans to create like contents for TikToks, music for TikTok, and I think it's like jingles. It's like
Oh, it's very similar. Yeah, it is jingles.
Yeah.
It's totally jingles.
yeah,
Have we gone full?
It's
what's
not
the,
bad.
Is it Demolition Man? You know the film they go in the bus got jingles. Is that where we go?
Yeah.
That sucks.
yeah. Also, I think it is so bad. You know, when I want to watch a movie,
Yeah.
it's very hard to pick one.
Oh, incredible.
If I'm going into a platform, there are so many options.
Yeah.
And I give like an hour to pick.
I've actually stopped looking. I always go in with a game plan. I was like, right, we talked about this, and we're going to watch this,
Yeah.
and we're just going to find it wherever it may be. And if we have to pay for it, I don't mind, because that is what we're watching. And I don't let myself get sucked into maybe this, maybe this.
Yeah.
But then you're there for 2 hours. Then
Still-
it's that time.
still-
I've got kids.
Still, I couldn't learn how to make a game plan against watching something. Yeah. Have you ever been in Turkey? In that
No,
country?
I don't
No.
think I have. I mean, I'm trying to think if I've been there, it will have been the way I've been to a number of countries, which is for literally hours.
Yeah.
So I'll get off a bus or a train, run in, do something, and then leave immediately. So
Yeah.
I don't think I've done that. I don't think, but I mean, I said this about, I offended all of Brussels.
Can you please search if you did?
I don't think I
Yeah.
have. Are we going to?
Yeah.
We haven't yet. That's good, because I remember
When?
I was talking to someone, and I don't know why he asked me the question, because he knew the answer. The guy was like, so have you ever been to Brussels? And I was like, no, I don't think so. And he was like, yes, you have. Because I interviewed you last time. I was like,
Oh,
cool. Yeah, I remember now.
nice. You're coming when? To
No idea yet.
No.
At the moment, we're just finishing off a new record,
Yeah.
a new label, and actually, it feels really exciting. But I played one of the new songs, "Don't Make Me Beg." One of the songs I did is brand new. The record was finished, I think, last week, so it's
Yeah.
like really fresh.
I love the way you are thinking to get your audience to your albums. Once you made a live, I couldn't remember the English name, live record for a session as an album, and people could join and see all the.
Yeah, so no, it was my fourth album. I mean, it's a weird title for me to hold, but I do hold it, so I'm going to make the most of it. I was the first artist ever to make an entire album that the making of was streamed live for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So it was 3 weeks. My house was covered in cameras. I had 1 day off so I could spend time with my son, a week. And I think I'm actually still recovering. It has led to the strangest habits, because if I'm sitting editing audio, I still talk myself through it,
Yeah.
because I would
Maybe
just when the
somebody's
cameras were there,
watching,
I was
yeah.
like, and then I'm going to clip this, then I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to go over here, I'm going to make a cup of tea. And it's had like a lasting impact on my brain. But yeah, it was the first album ever to be made live on the internet,
Yeah.
which is a crazy thing to do. And it was way ahead of its time. The technology was really like pushing, and there was lots of days where it was like, why is camera 3 down? And no one could work it out. But worked with an amazing kind of tech team. That was nuts.
Do you want to do it again?
No.
With
no,
this
It was
technology?
awful. It was,
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be much easier
Yeah.
now. But I think because it's much easier, I think the shine of the ideas probably, I'm sure people have done it since then as well, and they've probably done it better, if I'm being honest, but, especially kind of technology-wise. But I don't think I'd do it again, just because my life is messy, complicated.
After playing
I
in
don't want cameras up in that.
after playing in Glastonbury,
Yes.
things change, right?
Yeah. No, definitely.
What's the change? Because something should change. Because it's a dream from decades ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's still, for me, it still holds all of its kind of majesty.
Yeah.
I've had some of the most amazing gigs of my entire life. The Akustikhane been particularly good for me. Avalon, there was one particular Avalon stage run where they put me on the sunset slot, and the way that the sun went down and it was kind of coming through like a perfect arch, and it went over the heads of the whole crowd coming in, and there was so many people there. It was like the tent was overflowing out, and I would think I was just kind of gathering people because it's the last like live performance tents before you get into the dance music areas. So everyone was heading to Danceland because it was about that time. But they were just stopping because there's too many people to ignore, and it was just too fun. So yeah, that holds a really special. Actually, last time I did it, I was given a week's notice because I was filling in for someone that pulled out. That was actually quite scary.
Now, with this album again, I hope from our point of view, you come to Istanbul, and we have a great place in a jungle. We put a festival there, and it's a great one. It's called.
Sounds amazing.
It's called Park Orman, and Orman means jungle, and park means park. so it's a great place. If you come there, I think people will be amazed, and it's quite a great atmosphere there.
Oh, that sounds
Yeah.
amazing. No, totally.
After the interview, I'm gonna talk to you about Park Orman. Maybe you come. I think it can happen. Maybe this year if you're available. So I'm so thrilled to have you in Akustikhane. It's our 15th year, and
Wow.
and it's our second time here in London. And Nathan hosts us here in Fiction Studios, and we're so happy because of that.
It's beautiful.
And yeah, it's a fantastic place to be. So again, I'm so happy to get to know you in person. See you soon in Istanbul.
Hopefully, yeah, that's the plan. Teşekkürler.
Teşekkürler. Programımızın sonuna geldik. Kendinize iyi bakın.